Well, afternoon everybody. You join me today in the beautiful town of St Ives. We're going to take the coast road out to St Just. We're not actually going to make it as far as St Just, but it's the B3306, and it's one of those roads that you always see on the telly on Britain's most scenic drives, etc. It's the end of October, it must be the 26th, something like that. It's an absolutely beautiful afternoon, so I bunked off work, joys of being self-employed, and I thought, let's run the coast road, because during the summer this road is ridiculous. Camper vans, caravans, people not knowing where they're going. But now, hopefully, we should have it, if not to ourselves, then quiet. It is a spectacular road. Like I said, we're only going to do part of it. We're going to do my favourite part, and then we're going to cut across to Madron, and we'll see some standing stones and various other megalithic sites. I'm running it from St Ives back towards Land's End, because I just prefer it this way. I think you get better scenery. So I'll shut up and just enjoy the scenery for a bit. This area here is the Penrith Moors, more standing stones, and you can shake a stick at down here. You can't see any from the road. That's why we're going to take a little detour, and we'll visit some of the most famous ones. As you can tell, it's not a particularly quick road, but just ace for me and Ruby on a day like this. Over the last 12 months they've actually done quite a bit of resurfacing on here, which is quite nice, because it used to be absolutely terrible and now it's just terrible. Oh, there's the Atlantic Ocean. Look, this is, well, like I said, a coastal road. You don't get that close to the sea, luckily. A few glimpses here and there. Like I say, you always have to, be a bit aware on this road that there's people not knowing where they're going, wrong side of the road, too fast, yada yada. Over there, well, you can't quite see, it's hidden by a tree, Zenner Church, famous for Zenner Mermaid. Not a lot else. Nice ice cream. There we are, Zenner Church. Oh, there's a bus coming the other way at some point. Up on this hill here, on my left, there's over there, look, there's a house that used to be owned by the famous occult leader Aleister Crowley, and I went there, I don't know, 30 years ago, and it's abandoned. It might not be abandoned now, but it was then, and it definitely had a well spooky aura about the place. He didn't live there, it was just a holiday home. Yeah, even devil worshippers need a break. Now, if we're going to meet the bus, it'll probably be here. This is one of the really narrow bits. Oh no, there's a car coming. Right, see if we can get through before the bus arrives. We have the Gurnard's Head pub, painted a very interesting shade of yellow. I've never been there. I've never seen any reason to go there. But yeah, it's a pub in the middle of nowhere, and it stays open, so the food must be amazing. It's usually a Harley Davidson 2 parked up here. Not today. Obviously the dentists are busy. Well, I must admit we're having a lot of luck with the traffic. This is a nice run through here. Right, this is where we enter probably my favourite bit. It's the really moorland up here. But you have to be careful for ponies on the road. And yeah, this is one of the bits of tarmac they did. So it's actually relatively smooth across here now. But yeah, look at that, proper moorland. Fantastic. Right, this is my traditional halfway stopping point for a cigarette and maybe a wee. But we'll definitely stop here for a cigarette, even though there's somebody in my bloody parking space. Oh no, fuck it. Fuck it! We'll have a fag bit in a minute. That's why I usually stop there. Alright, down there is that cliff there. It's called Commando Rock. It's when the commandos were formed in the Second World War. And I believe they still use it today. They take the new recruits there and they have to jump across these massive gaps to test their nerve. I think there's a plaque or something down there, but it's a fair old trek. This corner catches a lot of people out because the view on the right there is spectacular. So you're sort of looking at that going, oh, that's spectacular, and then yeah, they put a 90-degree bend in it. Right, so we're coming up to where we're going to leave the 3306 now, but from here on it's much more of the same, but you enter more towns and villages, and so that's the best of it. So yeah, if you're coming this way, look out for that pile of stones there, and then go around this corner and take a left. which is right here, look. And up here we have Madron. But yeah, this is where you'll see some standing stones and stuff up here. It's a cool little road. So if you're ever here visiting the standing stones, all the tourist books will tell you about the Menental and the Menskifra, which are over on this side of the road. Idiot. But there's a much better on this side of the road. There's a little path, and it goes on for about a mile. It's narrow, but it takes you down to a farm, and you park in the farmyard, and you'll see some signs. This turning here, go down there, and it'll take you to Chun Castle and Chun Coit, which are the hidden jewels of this area. Thank you. This is the car park for the Menental and Menskifra. You see it really busy. Nobody will be at Chun. I think Chun Coit is 4000 BC and Chun Castle is Iron Age, I believe. Whereas the Menental was moved from its original position, so it's set in concrete. And the Menskifra, it's okay, but it's just one stone. So yeah, check out Chun Coit, Chun Castle. It's a feral stank up the hill, but you park in the farmyard, walk up, it's brilliant. We can have cream teas at the farmhouse here. I presume they still do them. Yeah, Lanyon Tea Room, there we go, look. Nice cream teas. In there, look. Right, next we have Lanyon Coit, which we should be able to see from the road. If there's nobody there, we'll stop and have a look. Yeah, there we are, look right in front of us. Lanyon Coit. We can stop. We'll stop here and have a look. A nasty camper, but I think we're okay. Right, let's just hope nobody comes and knocks Ruby over. I will be very annoyed, to put it mildly. Right, let's go have a look at the Coit. This Coit isn't as old as Chun Coit. It's about 3000 BC, whereas Chun Coit is 4000 BC, so this is a mere youngster. And it didn't look like this originally. Apparently it blew over in a storm in the 1800s, and it got re-erected. It's National Trust, of course. Whereas Chun Coits are English nature, far more less touristy. So apparently it used to have 4 stones holding the main stone on top, and you could ride, a man and a horse could ride underneath it. But when it blew down and they put it back, one of the stones was too weak, so they put it back with only 3 stones. So yeah, it wouldn't have looked like this originally. Apparently the top stone, you can tell I've been on Wikipedia, the top stone weighs 12 tons. So even in the 1800s, that was a fair old job to put that back on the top. Oh, I feel like saddlebags. Journeys through time! Or journeys through Wikipedia in my case. So there you go, Lanyon Quoit. But yeah, definitely visit Chun Quoit if you're in the area, and Chun Castle. It's over there on that hill there that you could. I can see the castle. I doubt you could see it. Yeah, like I say, it's an Iron Age, I believe, hill fort, and 4,000-year-old quoit, which is much more spectacular than this one. Smaller but nicer. There we go. Onwards. Alright, quick look at Ruby. Sunlight's glinting off her, looking nice. I've actually started doing some editing on my round Britain trip, but yeah, don't expect it anytime soon. There you go, Ruby in all her glory. Right, got here just in time, look. Onwards, Madron. So yeah, that was Lanyon Quoit. I thought I saw a car then. If you park up here, there's a lane, and I was just top end of Madron, and there's a old wishing well down there, you know, a Celtic chapel and well, And there's like an old willow tree beside the wishing well, and people tie bits of rag and stuff to it. Madrid, all very Celtic. But yeah, nice walk. Well, I say well, just a hole in the ground with some water in it. So that's about it really, we're almost back in Penzance. Not a lot of interest in Penzance, Smack Town as they call it now. It's quite down on its luck these days, poor old Penzance. So there you go, I hope you enjoyed your little run around the 3306. I'm going to head home, have a cup of tea. Schools have just kicked out, so they'll be full of Chelsea tractors and buses but yeah, we hit that at a nice time, nice and quiet. So yeah, that's me, I'm Goff. We're live in Madrid. Well, it's cheers and con.
1 minute 37 seconds later.
Well, I brought you back in because I feel I may have been a bit hard on Penzance then, and it's a lovely day, so let's go along the seafront and we'll just show you the best bits of Penzance. I mean, this, look, it's a lovely street. Who wouldn't like to live here? But yeah, we'll go out along the seafront, past the harbour, and we'll see what Penzance has to offer on a beautiful day. You know what they say, why are the streets of Penzance lined with trees? So the smackheads can walk in the shade. Okay, here we are, seafront. St Michael's Mount over there, look. Looking glorious. Well, Dolphin Pub used to be a good place to score weed back in the 80s, off the fishermen. Probably still is. and Penzance Harbour. So there you go, that's about the best of Penzance.